Java, I'm talking about in programming languages. So I'm telling you best practices side by side. Always format your code. It will help you long run when you actually push your code somewhere. So there will be no conflicts with someone else without any reason. Okay, so format your code, and what we saw, a class with private fields, two constructors, and how to call it. I just created a separate class, Apple Tester, and then a main method. Of course, without it we cannot test, so we need to create a main method at least. Then first step is I want to access or call these constructors. So first step is create the object of that class. What's the class name? Apple. So we saw that's the syntax. Class name, then object name or reference name, whatever you call it, then new keyword, and then class name again, and then parenthesis. That's it. If you do this, you're actually calling something from inside the class. So if you want to access anything from the class, you need to create object. Just remember this. If you want to access fields, methods, constructors, or maybe a nested class, you have to always create object. Once you have object, that means you have a access. It's like a access card. Once you have access card, you can visit your room, right? Or any lift, elevators, or any other building or room, right? So once you have access card, you can access all these fields. So treat this object as an access to get all the details from within the class. Okay, that's what we saw. Some more examples with multiple constructors, and ultimately what we just did, we did constructor overloading. That means same name but different data types. So that's what we saw here in constructor signature. I mentioned constructor signature. What does it mean? Anyone? Constructor signature or just signature? Maybe I'll say class signature, method signature. Here I wrote constructor signature.
The parameters.
Parameters. Okay. Anything else? No, no guys. Okay, never mind. Constructor signature is, I mean, even remove this constructor signature. When we say or whenever you use this term signature, so that could be of class, method, as what was that? Okay. Um, sig- sorry, not signature, constructor. Uh, constructor. Okay, so we have a signature for class, signature for method, we have a signature for constructor. So at least we know class and constructor, we have a slight idea that how a class looks like and how a method looks like. So we know how to create a class. Just if I have to write a syntax, have a look guys, what I'm going to do. I'm writing syntax for class, for a class. So how it goes, access specifier, then class, and then class name, and then curly braces. Curly brace open close, that means we have a body inside it. So I'll say class body, and that body can have any like it can take whatever I just mentioned earlier. So so it can have these things. Constructors, variables, method. Just I'll keep repeating stuffs unless you guys say, okay. Now it's in our mind. We understand what you are saying here. Okay, so inside this we can have all these things inside a class. Okay, but have a look again. What I mentioned here. Access specifier, class, and then class name. This class is actually is what? It's a reserve keyword of Java. That's how compiler knows that we are going to create a class. Okay, this was the syntax. What's the example? What what can be the example? So I'm writing its example. Okay, I can take the same example, Apple class. Okay, this can be the class. Let's make it simple. I mean, just want to save some space here. This can be the example. I hope I'm making myself clear what I'm designing for you guys here. So that's the syntax. Access specifier. This access specifier is right here, public. Class is the reserve keyword, okay, that we know, and class name. Have you noticed class C is capital, name N is capital.
Yes.
That's how we give the class name. So always remember, when you're going to create a class, don't start with small letters or just mix up anything. If you have two words, like if you have noticed here, I wrote Apple tester. So capital A, capital T. If I have to add something, one more word there, like Apple tester, I don't know, demo something. So Apple demo
Okay.
tester. So capital A, capital D,
Capital
and
D,
capital D.
capital T.
That's how we give the names. That's the naming conventions. Okay, I just mentioned naming conventions. Anyone who can me like make me clear this term, naming conventions?
कैमल केस वगैरह होता है सर जिसमें
Hmm.
कैपिटल लेटर और स्मॉल
What you're explaining me is about um, the examples. What I'm asking, what is the meaning of naming conventions? This is what I'm asking. You say whatever you said, that's correct. But I'm asking, what is the meaning of naming conventions? Or maybe just conventions. Try it. Guess. It's for everyone. Naming conventions. Keep speaking in my class. कुछ भी बोलते रहो पर speak. Random guess करो.
सर
But
नेमिंग कन्वेंशन इज
Sir,
जस्ट अ क्लास नेम
hmm.
sir,
सर
I
इफ यू
think
वांट
that
टू रीनेम एनी क्लास then uh, you can guess
Con
any name.
okay. Anyone else? Yeah. I heard one more voice.
that are way to write any name. हम
Okay.
किसी के नेम को कैसे डिफाइन कर सकते हैं नेमिंग
हाँ.
कन्वेंशन में मेथड
चलो.
के नेम को कैसे
The set of rules on basis of which we define a name of a particular class or a method.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, guys, whatever you said, that's correct. And yeah, Shiven explained it more better way. So yes, it's just a set of rules. Convention means some set of rules for what? For names. So when it comes to name your class, method, variables, you need to follow some conventions. You can just say conventions means rules or regulations. That's it. Some rules or set of rules. I'll say set of rules for uh, assigning or giving names to the class, method,
methods
or variables. Right? So that's what naming convention means. See, guys, these are some small questions, but you know what? It will impact you when you are actually beginning. When you experience, guys, nobody going to ask you this. What is naming convention? No. But as we are learning, so let's make our base clear what we are learning here. Okay, so now we know what is naming convention because I will keep using this term multiple times. So whatever I'll use, I'll explain you on the screen. Okay, fine. So left side we have a syntax of a class. So access specifier, class name, and this class can hold these stuffs. So what we saw in our previous class, variables and the constructors. And why we need object? To access the fields. Always remember, whenever you're going to create object, that means you want to access something outside of the class. Because by the way, when we have this Apple class, everything is inside Apple. If I even you can it's not giving you the option here. So these things, the highlighted stuffs, they are part of a Apple class, and they are within this curly braces. So if you want to access these stuffs, you need to create object of Apple class, and then only you can access the fields or the constructors. And of course, there are certain other rules, so that we will see later. Okay, let's quickly jump over to next topic, that is method. Methods. What are methods? What's the purpose of methods? Let me hear from you guys first, then I'll try my side. So explain what is method or what's the purpose of having methods in your code. One line, two line,
Sir,
whatever.
method is a block of code or set of code grouped
Hmm.
together to perform a certain task or operations. So it is generally used to avoid a repeating code, sir.
Hmm. Okay. Nice, Dheeraj. Thanks. Okay. Anyone else? Hindi में बोल दो, not an issue. But
so
try it. Yes.
method is a set of method is a block sir, where we are write some logics that are reusable.
Yeah, logic is one good thing. There's missed that. Okay, fine. Okay, yeah, that's what a method do. It means, see, I'm not going to write a definition. It's not part of my uh, class. Method you guys knows, so that you can find the definition, and of course nobody going to ask the method definition. Once you knows how to write the method, you can explain in your own words. So I'll say method, uh, set of block. I'll say set of block. As you guys said, I'm just using your words. Set of blocks for writing, what's it, logics. Uh, Make it better like business logics. Okay. Like, so set of block for writing business logic, and um, leave it. Just one word, one line is enough. Set of block for writing business logics. That's it. And yeah, I can add one more thing here. That's reusability. Why we are writing it? Why we need method? Reusable. Right. Once you have a okay. So once you have a method, what's the purpose? So you can reuse it. Think about, I'm going to write implement this as a code, not a big stuff I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do, I will create a simple class like calculator. Fine, a simple class, simple mathematical operation, calculator. In this calculator, what we can have add method, right? Then subtract, then multiplication, and then finally div, right? So these are the basic four operations we can perform when you are using calculators. And I can perform all these math operation within the method. So add will do only addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I'm not going to take some weird scenarios. I'll keep the code really simple, and that's what I want from you guys. Keep your code simple so you can understand what you have actually done. I don't want like 100 or 50 lines of code. No, that won't work for learning. So this is going to be a class, and I'll create four different methods, and then we will see what's the impact. So initially, everything will be ultra simple, and that's what I want from you guys. Whenever I ask you to write some code, so make your example really simple. I don't want any logic inside the method. If you can't think, then of course you can go for web and create your inserts and copy paste your code. But yeah, initially just do the stuffs. Okay, so in the same basics package, I'm going to create a class. So right click on the package name, then new, and then pick a class, calculator. Fine. So we have a Java class, and by default, Eclipse generates this structure. It picks the package name and write at first line. Always remember, if you are going to create a Java class, it should be always in a package. What is package? How to use it? What's the impact of package names? That we will see in upcoming classes. But for now, whenever you're going to create a class from Eclipse or any other tool, it will always add that package line at first line. Okay, it will be always. If it is not there, that means you have created your class somewhere else outside maybe, or maybe default location. So always make sure that you are in a package. Okay, done. Now what's next? I want to add these four operations, add, subtraction, and stuffs. So I'll make it public. Always, for now, for some weeks, keep your methods public. And I don't want to return anything. I don't know what is written here. Public void and say add. That's it. Example should be simple, but add will take two arguments, int x and something, int x comma int y. And here I'll say sits out, um come on, addition of something is weird in the system. Okay, addition, let's make it simple, like x plus y equals, then equals x plus y. Wow, keyboard is not okay. Okay, well, let me show you something, some weird stuff. Okay, so let me confuse you guys. So I'll keep it this way. Then now copy. I'm saving some time, but please guys, write your own code. I just want to save some time. Subtract, multiplication, and division. If you actually understand how to write a method signature without looking somewhere else, so yeah, go on. Most welcome. But if you're writing this kind of sometimes or rarely, please type. Typing is the best way to learn something. X minus y, x what is that, multiplication and then division. And what is happening here? X minus y will impact. Okay. Okay. Not taking it. Plus minus. Where is string? X. Okay, I'll see that later. Multiplication, division, done. So we have 4 methods: add, subtraction, and we'll discuss about this void. What is void here, if you don't know, in case. And yeah, that reminds one more stuff here. Homework, okay? I'll keep this side by side. Homework is here. Data types in Java. Maybe you know, so that's good. If you don't know, check out what is data type. And of course, for now, we are looking for only primitive types. Primitives. Primitive data types. So have a look. We have 8 data types. Check them out. Maybe you will find some, what do you call that, documents or some articles. Have a look. What's the type and how it works. So then, of course, once you figured out, okay, these are some primitive data types, then write examples. In one example, you can add for each data type. Up to you. One class or multiple classes, totally up to you. But I want example for each data types. Okay, this is done. Now what? So we have a calculator class. Now time to test it. Why? Ultimately, once you are creating a method, you need to use it somewhere, right? Without, how cannot like perform the operation? So better to create a separate class. So a class calculator tester, and we will put always main method for testing, right? Okay, we have main method. Now idea is to access these methods outside of this class. So if you want to do that, you have to create object, get your access keys. So calculator, done, then new calculator. Nothing new. If you have done or wrote some code, it's not new. Okay, time to call the method. So calculator dot add. Okay, and I'm passing 10 2. Let's do this much. So I created the object so I can access stuffs inside from this class, and then calculator dot add. Done. Okay, let's run this code. So right click on any empty space, run as, and then Java application, and it's giving me 102. Any guess why this happened? Let me put this code on paint side by side, have a look, and then tell me what just happened here, if anyone knows. That's weird, right? This is our code. I clearly mentioned x plus y. Now what does it give me? X plus y equals to this. Why this happened? Weird, right? We were expecting what? 10 plus 2, 12.
सर हमने इनपुट में क्या दिया था 10+2.
Yes, 10 plus 2. That
तो
is.
सर ये सर मेरे सर ये जो x प्लस वाई लिखा हुआ है इसे ये पहले स्ट्रिंग में कन्वर्ट कर दे रहा है. और
स्ट्रिंग में
इसके
कन्वर्ट कर
बाद
दे रहा है.
जो आ रहे हैं हमारे पास, मतलब नंबर्स उन्हें भी स्ट्रिंग में कन्वर्ट करके उसे ऐसे वो ऐड कर दे रहा है. मतलब कॉन्क्रेट क्या बोलते हैं,
हाँ, बोलो बोलो.
उन्हें मतलब एक दूसरे में ऐड कर रहा है, कॉन्कैटिनेशन कर दे रहा है.
Concatenation, right. That's right. That's the concept. So what happens in code Java, guys? In case if you are trying to perform some addition, actual addition, right? So make sure it is separated from that string part, because if you try to print something like this, x plus y equals and double quotes, we have a string first. So what compiler assumes that actually it assumes that everything is a string type, as Vipin said that it converts everything in a string. So x was 10, y was 2. So it actually, instead of performing an integer addition, it performs string addition. That is string concatenation. When we do string, then there we will learn. But for now, this is the term string concatenation. Okay, so this is what happened here. String concatenation. Fine. So how to save ourselves? Just wrap everything within the bracket, the parenthesis. Okay, so that will make it different. That okay, it's not just a string, it's actually an integer value. So simply go back and do
सर
this operation. Yes.
सर आई थिंक इसीलिए यहाँ पे माइनस जो हम लिख रहे थे तो एरर दिखा रहा था.
Yes, yes. इसलिए मैंने उस टाइम एक्सप्लेन नहीं करा.
Yes, sir.
कोड रन करा फिर एक्सप्लेन करा. So always if you're performing numerical operations plus you want to print some in string, so wrap your integer values or numeric values within the parentheses, so that will act as a barrier. So this will be treated as integer or numeric, and this will be treated as a string. That's why you guys need to know what are the data types. If you don't know, just open Google, type data types in Java language and see what are the possible things are there. Okay, so this is also done. So we are actually able to call stuffs. Let's do this quickly without wasting time. So what we have: subtraction, multiplication. Okay, let me run that code first of all because we wrapped it. So now we have wrapped this in brackets. Time to run this code again. Run as application 12, right? Okay, so it's working. Same number I'm taking, so let's run the code. So 10 minus 2, 8, 10 multiplied to 20, and 10 divided by 2, 5. Okay, we are getting our outputs now, and that's what we want. Okay, this was one simplest example. I just showed you here, guys. Still there's a doubt about it, please ask me, or anything you want to change here to see the impact, we can do that as well. No question? So yep, this is the straightforward way to perform any method call. Just create the method and call it with object and it will work. Okay, so no question, so that's good. Let's move forward with return types. So what is return type in methods? I'm very specific about here that we are talking about methods, because method will return stuffs, not constructor, not your class. Only methods will return something. So because there we have a logic. Okay, so any guess, guys? Return types in method? Nityanan? Yes?
सर रिटर्न टाइप is actually sir int char float double मतलब data type sir.
I think
Hmm.
there are three type of return type in method: data primitive, non-primitive, and void. Nothing written.
Okay, what you guys are explaining, it's about types of data types. Here I'm asking, what is return type? What's the purpose of return? What's the purpose of returning something from the method? This is what I'm asking. What you guys are explaining is types of data type.
What?
Int char, that's the example. But what's the purpose of return type?
सर
You have a
सर
yes.
आई थिंक सर हम उस वैल्यू को जो हम लॉजिक लिखे हैं उसे कैलकुलेट
Hmm.
करके हम कहीं स्टोर कर सके और उसे कहीं यूज कर सके.
Absolutely right. Yes. What's the purpose of the methods? To perform some logical operations. Sometimes, as per the requirement, maybe we will just end the logic there, or maybe we want to return that value which was calculated within the method. So in that case, I just want to return the value, whoever called that. So there we can put this return thing or return type logic. So we have this calculator class, right? We have this calculator class which has methods, which has just a second. Okay, yeah, guys. So yeah, I was saying this is the simplest class without adding extra stuffs. Let's enhance it. So I'll say calculator 2, or let's say advanced calculator. Well, again, it will keep just simple stuffs. So this is the one. Now this time, instead of return printing stuffs, I don't want to print here. I just want to perform that operation, and whatever value gets calculated, I will return it back to the main method from the tester class. Okay, so in that case, I will create a new variable int c equals, and then in that case, we don't need even that parenthesis. Yep, that's it. So okay, so we have a variables, this, the multiplication and the division. Okay, but how to return type, how it looks like. So let's understand its signature first. So if I have to say syntax wise, right, syntax, so it says again that access specifier, okay, that public, protected, private stuff, then return type, and then method. Now notice the method name, that's in a camel case, then parenthesis, and then you can have argument 1, or you can say data type,
Type.
argument 1, then comma, I'll copy this, argument 2, comma, and dot dot dot. Okay, there's a article which I read on Oracle. Usually, or you can say typically, we should not give, like, of course that's even it's common sense that why you want to add multiple arguments. So keep your arguments here minimum. At max you can pass 8, but that will be completely illogical to adding more than even 4 or 5. So keep your arguments type minimal. The best you can do, just remove the dependency. Anyways, so that's how it goes. That's why I keep dot dot dot. So you can add 3, 4, 5. Best practice, don't add increase the arguments type. It will increase the, what do you call that, compulsion. Okay, so that this was the syntax. I'll say we have a method body inside it. Okay, done. So in case if I need to write any example for this, so it goes like public or private or protected.
Protected.
The intent type of there are 8 types, so I'm not going to write everything. Just for example, int, comma, char,
Char.
comma,
Boolean.
float,
Boolean.
dot dot dot, and the method name. So let's say my method, and data type maybe int. Let's say age. One is string. Let's say name. Okay, and here we are with our example. So now we have a return type. This is the typical syntax for or a way of writing any method. Public, protected, or private, whatever you want to use, then return type and this. Or I can enhance it for more way, like simple, so you can actually understand it in a more readable way. Public int at int x int y. That's it. So public int add int xy. So something similar we will implement in our code. So that's advanced thing. Everything is going to be int for now. So int, 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 int. And now, have you guys noticed as soon as I add this int, now my method's giving errors. If I make it void, so void means nothing. That's one more keyword in our list. Int is one more keyword in our list. Like previously in previous class, we saw 6 keywords in first day. On our first day, we saw 6 keywords: package, public, class, static, void, and new. These were the 6 keywords we saw. And then we have int. Now we have void. So 8 keywords we have added. I'm not going to like maintain it, but likewise, we will keep adding the keywords. So all the data types, that means 8 data types we have. So 8 are the reserved keywords plus these stuffs: access specifiers, access modifiers, argument types, method, constructor. All these stuffs will increase the counter. Okay, so as soon as I do this, you can see we have an error. What does it say? Let's see the error. Okay, always read your error. Hover the mouse, just hover the mouse. Don't click anything. And it says this method must return a result of type int. Okay, I hope it is making sense. If it's not, please let me know that you're not getting it, what exactly the issue is. Anyone? Nityanand, you
Correct,
getting
correct,
it?
correct. Explain it.
Okay, Shivendra. Nityanand,
Yes, sir.
getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so what we need to do here? Tell me, please.
I think I return C.
Oh, you are also Nityanand.
No, sir, PP.
So, okay, let him give some chance. Yes, Mike issue. We need to add a return type. Of course, you must know this. So if you have a return type, make sure you are returning it. Otherwise, it will keep giving you error. So this is the line you have to add: return C. And you can see error from add is gone, error from subtraction gone, multiplication, and finally division. So all methods are now safe, even not a single warning. Everything is fine. And we have added one more reserve keyword in our list, that is return. So 6 from second day, first day, second day has 3 keywords: int, void, return.
Return.
So that's how we can increase the counter. Okay, by the way, this is working. No error, not such a thing. So let's do the stuffs again. I'll create advanced calculator tester. Okay, there it is. And let's remove it. Okay, so first of all, again, the idea is same. I want to access these methods. From where? From this advanced calculator class. So need to create object of this class first. So advanced calculator there, then calculator equals new calculator. Done. Now I want to call that add method. So calculator dot add. Let's pass this time 20 and 5. Okay. So it will add. So it will become 25. And even we know this thing, this will let's close these files. This will return int value. Guys, notice it add returns a integer value. So what we can do, we can hold that type. This will do the operation, and notice here int add. Let's call this result. Okay, result is the new word, so I'll keep it capital R. And done. And now what? Let's print it here. Addition, oops. Addition of x and y is a result. Now we are not doing any operation, so no need of parentheses. If you're doing any numerical operation, then you need to wrap this within the parentheses. If you just want to print,
Doing
this will
everything.
work. So what we did, we called the
Numerical way, then
method, stored
turning
in a
them
variable,
to
and then printing
parentheses.
it.
Otherwise, if
Okay,
we are
so
write
let's run the code.
numerical value in the
Right click,
this,
run
then
as application,
we
and
write
here it is.
a
You can see is
parenthesis.
not, there's a space, so let's space semicolon and done. Running the code again, and here we go. Addition of x and y is 25. So what just happened? We called the method, store the result in a variable, and then printing the variable. I hope it's clear. If no, please tell me. Likewise, we can do other operations. Subtract, multiplication, div, and accordingly calling the method. So I hope it's clear. We are just calling a method and storing a value. So I'm doing it quite fast, so there will be no wastage of time. Plus this, and I will do this set. Subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, done. Let's run the code. 25, 20 minus 5, 15, 20 into 500, and 20 divided by 5, 4. So everything is working fine, not an issue. And now we know if you have a method with return type, you can hold its value and print it accordingly. Or, I mean, it's fine if you want to reuse this variable. Maybe add result I want to use after line 18 somewhere else. So there we can use, if you feels that, okay, I don't think I would be needing this variable again. So even I can do one more stuff here. Just creating a separator for my console. So instead of doing like storing in a variable, you can actually call the method inside the sysout like this way. And you don't need to do this. See, let's make it 100. So if you feel that I am not going to use this variable somewhere like anywhere else, it's just a one purpose of it printing. So I will call that method. And this is the actual good way to write in your projects. If you feel that variable is not going to use somewhere else, just call that method directly. Let's run this code. Here we go. Of course, let's actually do an operation. So like this, and no. Okay, who will fix this? I just realized later. It's not actually, it's 105. Okay, it's some addition. Fine, fine. I thought it's a division purpose. Okay, so it's working fine. Whether you can use the variable result or just store it directly. So that's one more way to call a method within this thing. Okay. This is also clear. So now we know what is method, what's the purpose of method, how many types are there. Types means with return type, without return type. And if you have return type, you can hold its variable. Okay, this is also working. Let's do the other stuff. And the name or the topic could be, okay, first of all, let me put this in a paint. This is the output. Okay, next we will learn what is method overloading. Like we did constructor overloading, something similar we will do with methods. We will override the methods. Shivendra, what is overloading? Or what is constructor overloading?
Same name with different parameters.
Right. So we will keep the same. Okay. Any guess what about methods in method overloading? Shivendra, what do you think? What will happen in method overloading? Your voice is breaking.
Why say pick
Same method name and
different
different
type of
argument
para
types. Fine. This is what is going to happen. So if I create a class and put some methods with same name, so it's possible to have the same name. Let's see this. So close this file. I'm going to create a new class. Let's say headphones. I'm not calling it headphones, just headphone is enough. Never give your class name in plurals. Never do that. Okay. And P, okay, let it be the smallest one. Headphone. It's one word. Okay. So idea is I just want to print some price. Okay. So how to create a method? Access specifier. The type I just want to make it void. So again, I don't want to add any logic. Just I want to show you how to method overload. How to overload the method. Okay. So price done. And here I'll say price is 100 rupees. Okay. Now, if I copy and paste, it's giving me error. What it's saying? Let's hover the mouse. Again, just hover the mouse. Hover means mouse को उसके ऊपर लेके जाओ. That's it. And now what it's saying? Duplicate method price in type headphone. Yep. You have a duplicate method name. How it's possible? So either you need to change the name
We can pass some argument.
or you can pass arguments or methods, right? Within the method signature. So change the method signature. So I'll say int. Let's call this P because we already have price and L is gone. Price is
P.
That's how we do concatenation. Left side we have a string, right side we have a string, in middle we have a integer value. So separate the integer values from string by using plus operators. String within double quotes, string within double quotes, and integer just in open. But make sure if you want to, combine your output, so that's how we do this. Price is whatever value will pass, it goes here, it will replace the p with the value, whatever comes up from the argument, and then message gets completed. And let's give a space as well. Okay, so that's how we overload the method. So requirement was just want to print the values, print the price of headphone. And if you are printing the price of headphone, you cannot call it anything else. I cannot say weight or uh, like the volume in dBs. How much? What's the volume of that particular headphone? What's the base? So the quality wise, if it's about price, so it's always about price. We can just override as per our requirements. So we just did the same here. Not override, overload the method. Okay, how to test it? Let's get a method, a different main method, a class, headphone tester. Okay. Now what? It at the main method, done. Create the instance of headphone. Nothing new. We know how to create object, so just doing it quickly. Done. Now headphone dot price. We are not passing any argument here, so we already know that this will call the default argument method. This one, price is 100 rupees. Okay, let's run the code. Application price 100 rupees. Okay, great. What if I pass any argument? Let's say 1000. So definitely it will go for the next method and prints this different message. Prints price is this, and this is what we are doing, a dynamic pricing, right? Whatever you will give at runtime, it will take the value. There we have. If I give it something different, yeah, changing. So that's how we
Class.
overload the method. Again, we have rules and constraints. When we start object-oriented programming concepts with Java, there we will do some more, what do you call that?
Yeah.
Operations or different way we will do the same stuffs. But for now, we are just learning what is class, what is constructor, what is method, what is variable, right? So we are almost done with all the stuffs. So we know the basics. Tomorrow onwards, we start working with object-oriented programming concepts. So that will add the homework here. So after doing this data, see, this will take hardly 30 minutes. Just copy paste, and I'll suggest you one more stuff, guys. If you are, of course, you must follow some article. I'll suggest if you want to keep everything in one place, right? That's the best practice. Keep everything at same place, so it's easy to find. So what you guys can do, once you have this stuffs, right click on your package and new and check out. Go for other and type some file. That's the file or untitled text file. And but I'll suggest give it a note. Where is that? Okay, and or I'll suggest a better way. Don't save it. File will work. Let's make it this way. Other, type file, take this file, next, and here write notes.txt. Okay, and finish. So we will have a file here. So data types. Done. And then list out all the data types. If you have some range, write it here. So it will be always there in your, project. So whatever you find out, put it at same place. So you have a code, you have a notes, just refer them. It will be quick. Just a suggestion. If you want to follow it, otherwise not an hard task. Up to you guys. Whatever works, just follow that. Okay. So we just did the method overloading here. But we will do this in more detailed way when we start object-oriented. So tomorrow onwards, we'll pick that topic. So that's the example. This is the tester class. And bottom, we have a output. Okay. So I hope this is also clear. And I hope this is also clear why we need method with same name. If it's a price, that means it's a price. You cannot call anything else to it. If someone name is something, so you have to call it the same way. So you cannot change its purpose. So purpose is same, but first one has a default value, second one has a dynamic pricing. So if you want to add some dynamic content, have arguments and use it accordingly. Okay, this is also done. Just one piece of concept there. Next, last topic for today is blocks. Maybe if I'm teaching first, let me know, guys. If I'm speaking first, let me know. So block. Okay, so that reminded one thing. I was talking about the homework. So after doing this data type stuff, next is what do you call that? Have a look and check what is object-oriented programming concepts. Okay, so there are 4 basic concepts. So check them out. I'm not specific, like especially telling which concept. Just have a look. We have 4 concepts there: inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, and just see what these are. Okay, next, blocks. So we have 2 blocks which I've already mentioned here.
Static block and non.
So we have 2 types of blocks: instance and static block. Okay, so instance block and static block. I'll just tell you today instance block because we have created instance. Okay, what is instance, by the way? Anyone? Instance?
Sir, a block which is declared inside the class.
I'm just saying instance. You ask nothing else.
Instance means
Yes.
Current.
Instance, current.
Current? What is current?
Current means sir.
जो झटका मारता है?
No sir. नहीं.
हाँ. Which current?
सर मेथड जो मतलब किसी क्लास के ऑब्जेक्ट के थ्रू, मतलब ऑब्जेक्ट के जो ब्लॉक किसी फील्ड को अगर हम एक्सेस करना हो तो जो जो उसके फील्ड्स होते हैं सर, वही जस्ट करें.
Okay. Instance I'm asking, okay? Just instance. Forget about this block stuff. Instance is nothing but an object. Treat it that way. If I am saying here, have a look. What is this? I will say I have created an object. Or I can say I have created an instance of a headphone class. Headphone not headphone. The instance is more professional way to explaining a object creation. Object creation process or instance creation is same, but object is more, you can say, more vague. Vague means not that much clear what exactly happening. But for beginning purpose, we tend to say object, object, object. But you guys already created object. That's why I'm telling you in our second day that instance is just a more proper way, or actually when they developed this language, they were calling it instance. So instance means a multiple replica or a copy. I mean, that's the English, you can say, meaning of it. So same thing is a instance block or the object block. As soon as you have an object, this block gets invoked. I mean, it's talking about, it's clearly saying I am a instance block. So once you have an object creation, this block gets called. How to create it? Let's see this. If you guys knows, that's good. Let's quickly see. Class instance block example. Okay. So from here we are picking some concepts. That's why I'm writing the names of classes. Maybe in upcoming classes I'll keep some big names, but that will actually explains what does it has. So instance block example. Now I'll create constructor of it, a default constructor for now. Okay. Public, oh, caps on. Public instance block done. This out. I missed the parenthesis. Default constructor. Fine. We have default constructor, and this is instance block. Okay. Body within curly braces without any name. Okay, guys. Block body. Instance block. I'll say body within curly brackets. Fine. Straightforward. Body within curly braces. Inside a class, of course. Not in outside, but inside a class. If you try to do this outside of a class, compiler will confuse. Okay, what is that? It's not making any sense. So this always goes inside a class. Okay, that's it. I have a default constructor. Even let's remove it. Okay, let's make it ultra simple. Just a block. Looks weird, but yeah, it's possible. A class with block. Okay, time to test it. So I'll call it instance block tester. Straightforward name. Instance, and of course I gave the small letter, so it's complaining. It means the eclipse is complaining. So capital I and so on. So instance block tester, finish. Main method, time to get object of instance or instance of a class, done. Now my question is, I don't have a constructor here. Still, we wrote this line. Anyone knows how it's working? What I'm asking? We just have this much code. And on tester side, within the main method, I'm writing something like this. How it is possible? We don't have a constructor. If you guys remember, I told you this is actually a constructor call. We are calling a default constructor. Where is that? How it's working? Weird. Anyone knows how? that's actually a constructor topic which I want to cover in the same class, but I forgot, so I just covering today. So we don't have a constructor here, still we are calling it. Okay, nobody knows, no issue.
सर
हाँ, yes, Ben.
सर आप पूछे कि मतलब ये कैसे कॉल हुआ अगर कंस्ट्रक्टर हमने नहीं बनाया तो
हाँ, राइट, ये पूछा मैंने.
सर आई थिंक ये कंपाइलर खुद से डिफॉल्ट कंस्ट्रक्टर जनरेट कर दे रहा है.
बिल्कुल, absolutely right. When you write this kind of code without any constructor, guys, remember this thing. Remember, this is one of the serious rule about constructor. If you write something like this, I mean, even remove it. This will confuse you. Even if you write this word, this much code, empty class. This is actually a class. That's your class name dot Java, right? That's my class name. Now I will compile it. So what will happen after compilation? Compiler will put a default constructor here, right here. Okay, so it will do what? When your class, your Java file gets compiled, it's not opening, what happened? Okay, this is what happens.
हेलो सर, आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी.